Welcome to the Immeasurably More podcast. I'm Erin, here with my mom, Jill, and my sister, Cam.
Hi, guys. I'm back. I know everybody missed me.
We did.
We did.
I missed you guys, too.
Your episodes are the most listened to, other than
They
a few
are.
that Erin.
That's crazy. I mean, what can I say? I'm just kidding.
We love having you here, Cam,
I
because
think. Oh, sorry.
you're the funny one in the family.
Well,
You are.
and you're authentic too.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
You're
that
just
makes,
real.
I mean, we are too, but
I'm the only authentic one. Sorry, guys.
There's just something about Cam that's just like, I don't know. She's just Cam. You know what I'm
right.
saying?
We say that all the time, but that is true.
And
you're
if you-
just Cam.
Yeah. And if you know Cam, you know.
You know.
She's
If you
Cam.
know, you know.
If you know, you know.
You know?
Anyway.
So thank you for taking the time out of your very busy schedule, your work
Very
schedule.
busy
You
schedule.
are. You're working and you got a lot going on.
Yeah.
She's a
So
working
we
girl.
thank you for taking time out of your schedule to be with us.
Of course. I'm glad to be here.
Thanks, sister.
sister.
Okay, so today's topic, we are dedicating this episode to our brother Hunter. And the reason for that is because August 5th is Hunter's Heaven Day. And so we wanted to take this episode to talk about his life, talk about our favorite memories, just talk about all things Hunter, which is why I have my mom and Cam, all of us here together. And if you can see, we're wearing our Hunter t-shirts. I don't know if all of you can see, but Cam's wearing her
Well, they
Hunter's Hope
can't see if they're
sweatshirt.
listening. Like,
Okay,
they
well,
can't see at all.
If you're
actually.
watching the reel, you can see that we are wearing our Hunter t-shirts. Obviously, they can't see if they're listening. Okay, I
Wait.
start to get like a little giddy when Cam's here.
I do too.
It's just like I'm no longer in podcast mode.
Oh, that's not good.
No, I
that's
am, but
good.
like, you know what I'm saying.
And also, the special thing about the t-shirts you guys didn't mention is the T is a cross.
the T is a cross.
It is.
Well, and that
was just the
wasn't
font.
planned.
I
That's
know,
just
that
a
was
font.
the font.
Yeah, I love
So
that.
the reason why we're using these t-shirts and why we created these t-shirts is because Hunter's Hope has a family collection line that we started, and a bunch of the families within our Hunter's Hope Foundation, they have their own logos. And so we're doing kind of a collaboration between Hunter's Hope and their foundation's logo or their family logo that they do. And so we're really excited. And this one's ours. So
I love it. So
and yes, we have
simple.
Hunter's Hope. Cam's wearing Hunter's Hope sweatshirt that we also created. So,
Go
I
get
mean,
your
if you
merch.
want your own, you can go get a Hunter t-shirt if you want.
They're so comfortable. I
Yeah, they
highly
are.
recommend.
Me
Well-
too. I love them.
And the thing about this T-shirt too is it just says Hunter.
Yeah, I love it.
So simple.
It's
So
so simple. And he lived such a
simple yet
very
profound life.
complicated, difficult life.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking when we were preparing to do this, I thought, why don't we go back to the journals that I kept
Mm.
and that I shared and without a word, and maybe that would prompt some memories that you guys have of Hunter's life. But
Yeah.
he has been in heaven for 19 years.
That's crazy.
That's insane.
And it seems like just yesterday sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes it just seems like it just happened, and that flood of grief and sorrow comes back in, and you have to just, remember, wait, we're one day closer. We're one day closer. I remind myself of that often, that I'm one day closer to seeing Hunter again. And his life left such an impact on my life and in yours. I'm sure you would share that as well. And I love that we get to talk about him today.
Me too.
So I'm just going to share some things. And then if this prompts you guys to add to the story.
Maybe start after Cam was born, because Cam wasn't born until 1999.
Yeah. And still, I'm not sure how that happened, but
Yeah, we have no idea
We're
how
not
you got
talking
here.
about me, guys. But Mom, I know you want to say how she won't. I'll say it. She prayed for me before I was born. I'm the only child she prayed for before I was born. So you know what that means. I'm pretty special.
You are though.
you are.
Yeah, because
Cam.
Mom, you weren't saved until after Hunter was diagnosed, and that was 2 years before Cam was born. So, Cam, you are pretty special.
Thanks. So
Maybe
are
that's
you.
why you're the funniest. God gave you all the humor.
Probably. It's probably true.
Well, I'm going to start off with something that I wrote prior to sharing my journals, and it says, "Those of us who knew Hunter will tell you that he changed us in profound ways. The grass somehow appeared greener, and the array of beauty that colors our world and the intricate details of creation became more vibrant. Simple things we were usually too busy to appreciate filled us with gratitude because, incredibly, God used the simplicity of the common to show us how uncommon simple things really are." Wow, that's interesting. I'm sharing this because we're just talking about how simple and yet not simple at all Hunter's life was. Hunter loved life, all of it. His suffering didn't take away from his ability to enjoy life. It only made him enjoy what he could that much more. That's so profound,
true.
right? And
Yeah.
I think that his suffering, although it took away so much from his life, he was able to enjoy that much more.
Right.
Because those little things, those simple things were not so simple after all. In fact, breathing, in fact, looking at birds or playing with Spider-Man silly string or all of those sort of things, and the colors. I remember being so taken back by the colors and the vibrantness of colors. And when Hunter looked into the mirror for the first time, a long time had gone by. I don't know how many years it was. I think he was maybe 3 or 4. He had never looked into a mirror. Can you even imagine that? We're women. We're in the mirror too often. But he had never even looked into a mirror to see his features, to see what he looked like. And when we put the mirror in front of his face, it was so amazing. First of all, because Hunter's so handsome.
Oh, yeah.
He's so handsome.
His curly hair.
Oh, the brown curly hair and his green eyes.
And his skin was just so soft.
So soft. So soft. And he got to see his nose. His perfect little nose. He got to see his eyes, his beautiful green eyes. He had beautiful features, like Cam, you just said, like the softest skin. And he was just beautiful. He was absolutely beautiful. And something that we take for granted, we look in the mirror all the time. Hunter didn't do that.
Yeah.
And the beauty of, there's beauty in that. Think about that. Not worrying about what you look like.
Right.
Like he didn't worry about what he looked like, right?
Right.
He was just thankful to be alive, thankful to be breathing. And what a gift that is. And then there's another, this is from 1998, February 14th, actually, Hunter's birthday. Erin loves snuggling with her brother. She has no idea that her brother might not live very long. I'm afraid for her. I'm afraid for all of us. This is so scary, and there's so much we don't know and understand.
We talked about that in my testimony. When I shared my testimony, is that I had no idea. And Cam, you were only 6 years old when Hunter went to heaven. So neither of us could fathom the idea of Hunter not being here.
Right.
It was so normal. His life, like you said, it was simple and yet so complicated. But to us, being little kids, like it was so simple. We were just doing what normal kids do with our brother. And so we never thought that we were going to lose him ever. That just wasn't something that crossed our mind that I can remember, which is why I think it was such a shock to us, for sure. But yeah, I mean, that journal entry definitely speaks a lot of truth there of where I was at the time. I was so
And
young.
you guys were always snuggling. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Always
snuggling.
watching Little Bear.
Oh, his rescue heroes. Mom, actually, they're literally on our front lawn right now.
Oh my goodness, they are, because we found the rescue heroes. They don't make rescue heroes anymore.
I know, it was so sad. Hunter loved rescue heroes. Do you remember when we would, the like foam stuff that we would use?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
and put it everywhere. Yeah. I was always right by his side. I was right there. If he needed something, I was right there.
I
always there.
love the pictures of you and Hunter. They're so cute because you were always right there. And we spent our childhood always doing everything together. Me and Hunter always did everything together. And some of my favorite pictures and memories really are the three of us watching Little Bear or Franklin the Turtle.
We were all so close, cuddling, just sitting there.
I know. I miss those days. Didn't Cam want to like give Hunter chest PT one time.
For sure.
Like taking the thing that we used to give him chest PT to like clear his lungs. And Cam like grabbing it. She's probably like 4 years old at the time. Cam just trying to take control.
I totally thought I knew what I was doing too. I'm like, guys, I got this. Don't worry. Hunter was probably sitting there like, you guys are seriously going to let her do this? I got
Well,
you.
the cute thing is that we walked in. We must have walked out of the room because we walked in and you were trying to do it.
Oh, yeah.
You had the percussor. It's called the percussor. And you had it. We were just ready to start going. And we were just like, Cam.
I was probably watching like people do it. Then I was like, in the back of my head, I was like, oh, I can totally do that. And like in my mind, I'm like, he's my brother. Duh. Obviously I can do it.
Right. Exactly. Cam's like, let me take over. But we did that with like our baby dolls growing up.
Oh, yeah.
Like they had oxygen. They had a feeding tube. Like they had it all because we wanted our baby dolls to be just like Hunter. And that was so normal to us. So you were probably doing chest PT on the doll. And you're like, well, I can do this on the real guy too.
Absolutely.
I mean, come on. Oh my gosh. That's so funny. I miss those days. Mom, are you going to read more?
Yes.
Yes.
Such a
Go for it.
Hunter never smiled, and yet he did. For some reason, during the first year of his life, we wanted so badly for him to smile. I guess because ordinarily a smile is considered an outward expression of happiness and joy. We had to learn that inward joy could be expressed in other, more profound ways. Just the fact that Hunter was breathing and that he was alive and fighting in his own way to be a part of life was amazing. We all learned a lot that first year. I became acutely aware of the fragility and sanctity of life, that life matters no matter the breadth or quality of it. Life itself is a gift. Every single breath is a treasure. Hunter treasured life, and his desire to live changed all of us. Isn't it interesting, though, that Hunter, we have a few pictures. I think there's one in particular that I'm thinking of where he cracks a little teeny smile.
And it was when he was like baby.
Right. Yeah. So the majority of his life, he never smiled. And yet his life poured out so much joy and so much happiness and so much fun. It was like he was always smiling without an actual smile. And I feel like we all learned something as a result of that because Hunter was so limited. We realized that really he was limitless. Even though he had so many limitations, so much that he couldn't do, smile, talk, walk, breathe on his own. He needed oxygen. He couldn't eat on his own, but it allowed us to value all of those things so much more and to value the fact that he was able to have joy despite not being able to smile, despite not being able to do all the other things that maybe healthy boys were doing at the time. And yet we still did crazy things with Hunter. Like we went fishing, we went snowmobiling, we did all the horses. He had a favorite horse whose name was Bambi. Do you remember Bambi?
Briefly.
You were always at Camryn. You got on Bambi. You were there. You were riding Bambi.
Cam did everything.
Right. And we made a big deal out of everything, didn't we? Like, and that was so beautiful too. We made a big deal out of everything that he did. Every single achievement he made, because he was smart. The thing is, he's probably the smartest in the family.
And didn't he blinked?
Probably.
Yes.
Well, yeah.
Remember?
Right.
Yes and no. Blinking.
Yeah, explain.
Explain it.
Explain it.
I remember he would blink once for yes and then 3 times for I love you. So Hunter was very smart. Even though he couldn't talk, even though he couldn't do a lot of things, he was very smart.
He was so smart. He was. I'm for sure he was the smartest in the family. And other people knew that. We're not just saying this because we love him so much and we just thought, he could do anything, right? No, the teachers. I remember his teachers, Bonnie. I remember his physical therapist, Elizabeth, and Kathy, his occupational therapist. They wanted to push Hunter's limits. Like, in fact, his teacher said, do you mind if I teach him his age grade stuff? And I was like, oh my goodness, yes, teach him. And so he learned how to add, subtract. He learned all of those things. And well, how did we know that he learned that? And how do we know? Well, what would happen was Miss Bonnie would say, well, what is 2 plus 2? Is it 5? And Hunter wouldn't blink. He would just stare, stare, stare. And then when she said the right answer, he would blink, specifically blink. See, he lost his involuntary blink. You and I, we all just blink. We don't even think about the fact that we're blinking. He had to think about that. And in fact, eventually he lost his blink so much to the fact where he wasn't able to close his eyes. So we had to, do you remember grandma made those soft things to just like help him close his eyes at night to sleep. And then we had to put a lot of medication in his eyes to keep his eyes moist because he lost his ability to involuntary blink. And that's the thing too. I feel like we just made it work. No matter what was going on in his life, we just made it work and we had fun doing it. And everyone else had fun too.
Yeah. And anyone who walked into our house was filled with joy once they were in our house. One, Mom, you made it very clear, especially in the hospital too, that you walk in with a positive, you walk
uplifting,
in
encouraging
words, which is so powerful. But I think people that walked in, even if they weren't joyful or didn't feel like they were having a good day or whatever it was, once they interacted with Hunter, you had joy. Like there was no other way around it. Like you just had joy because he exuded it. It was a part of who he was. It was a part of just Jesus flowing through him, was that he was so filled with joy and so filled with life, more life than you would see in a healthy person. Hunter had so much more life than even we did, I feel like. And I feel like his life gave us more life.
Right. And his life itself was the greatest gift to him. And he taught us that. Right. And honestly, I have written here in one of my journals, I can't believe how shallow my life and existence were before Hunter. He makes life worth living, as difficult and heartbreaking as it is to see my son suffer. Watching him enjoy every ounce of life is truly indescribable. Wow. He made all of us appreciate the gift of a breath. His struggles and watching him he went through allowed us to appreciate the gift of like I just said, of a breath, the gift of a smile, the gift of breathing, the gift of literally being able to function, to blink your eyes. And then all of those other things in life became that much more beautiful. Like I already mentioned, the colors of the world, going on a walk. As simple as that sounds, for Hunter, it was such a blessing, such a gift. And, to see a bird and to talk about birds and animals. Hunter loved animals. And we had the reptile guy come over. Do you remember?
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember the reptile guy?
The snakes and the little gators and the...
Oh my goodness. He brought all of those animals over and Hunter was able to look at them and play. Well, you can't really play with an alligator, but the frogs. You remember
got
that
to, like,
really
touch the
big
snake?
frog? Touch the snake.
I remember the yellow one.
Yes.
Huge. Yeah.
Yeah.
Scary.
Yeah.
I can literally picture that.
Me too.
We would take Hunter's hand and like rub it up against the snake. Ooh.
He loved everything.
He loved it. Us girls were like, this is
awful.
gross. But Hunter loved it. Loved it.
And he loved you guys. Oh, he loved you guys so much. Whenever y'all were together, whenever you were able to do anything together, which was a lot until y'all were both in school, right? But he loved when you guys participated in everything. Camryn, I feel like you participated a lot in his teaching when he had a teacher, because he was a little bit older than you. So he was almost 2 years older than you. So all of the instruction and the teaching and the different interactive things that he got to do, you were right there. Like you were there doing all the things. And the teachers and everyone knew that, Camryn got to do it too. Because I wasn't going to make you guys not be a part of his life. I wanted you to be a part of every single part of his life because I didn't know how long that life would be. So I wanted you guys to participate in everything that Hunter was doing. And you had so much fun doing it. You loved being with your brother. You both did. And he loved being with you. And then how about Robert, you guys? Hunter's best friend.
Awesome.
Let's give the backstory for that. Hunter's best friend, his name is Robert. And Robert was actually Elizabeth, who was Hunter's physical therapist. Robert was her son. And as she was taking care of Hunter and doing his physical therapy throughout the week, eventually she decided she felt led that Hunter could meet Robert when they were a little bit older. So Hunter met Robert, and Robert, like you guys, didn't see Hunter as like he had a disease. Obviously, he knew that he wasn't able to do all the things that Robert was able to do, but he didn't treat him that way. He treated him as if he could do all those things. In fact, I remember Robert just like grabbing Hunter's hand and putting it on the rescue hero. They would build forts. Do you remember all the things that those two
Oh, yeah.
did together?
Yeah.
They were so cute. And I couldn't have imagined a greater blessing than that he would be able to actually experience friendship. Obviously, Hunter had a life with his sisters, but you guys are girls.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you do baby dolls and all those kinds of things. And Hunter's a boy. Like he wanted to do boy things.
Right.
And Robert brought so much into Hunter's life with all the boy kind of things. And that's exactly what they did. I specifically can remember Camryn that day, and you too, Erin, you were there too. We were all out on the back deck at our old house, and Elizabeth and Robert were over, and they brought that silly string.
Literally, that's like the core memory that I remember of Robert and Hunter. And we were just on the back porch, just the silly string. It was so messy.
So
but
messy.
it was, you could just tell that Hunter was having fun.
Yeah. I remember that too. That was
Yes.
so fun. I feel like we did that often. I feel like that was like a more than once type of thing that we did.
Oh, it was. Well, and you guys, like I said, you were there as often as possible. And those were just some of the fun things. There were so many things, baking a cake, and we
Mhm.
just got messy.
Right.
You all were messy kids. Like
As we
you got-
should be. We're kids.
Right. And you got your
I've been a
hands-
messy kid since I was little.
Oh,
Let's
yeah.
be
You
real.
were.
Side note, I poured a bowl of spaghetti all over my head. I have a picture of me with this spaghetti on top of my head. And then I have another picture of me eating cake, and it's all over my face.
Which is
Aaron's
so not
over Aaron's
surprising.
over here like clean, clean, clean.
Can I just say this perfectly represents our personalities too. Cam, you just like wild all over the place.
All right, listen, I'm not messy.
No, I don't mean like messy
No,
in
you're
that way.
not.
I just mean like you're very like carefree and just like you're just Cam. And then there's me like making sure everything's perfect, making sure everything in its place. It's just funny because I feel like we're still kind of the same way. And I'm still like I was when I was little, where I'd like wash my hands all the time. But I feel like that was also because of Hunter, because like
Oh,
everything
yeah.
had to be
Mhm.
very clean, sanitized because of Hunter.
No, and that's exactly where you would have gotten the washing hands obsession. Was
And then there's
everything-
me, and we just don't know what
Well,
happened
and
there.
back
We just
to
don't know what happened with
back
you.
to the story of you with the spaghetti. You took this plate of spaghetti, put it on your head, and then you whipped the plate across the room. And
Yeah,
you
that
know
makes-
your brother was
sounds like
laughing
me.
his head off. Well, that was the thing. The combination of you two in Hunter's life was perfect. Like
Mhm.
you were over there doing things you shouldn't do
Mhm.
and making him laugh, even though he never was able to laugh. He was never able to smile.
you could
and
just
all
tell.
those things. You
He's
just
probably
knew.
sitting there like, my younger sister is crazy,
And I love her.
but I love her so much.
And in those intimate moments too, when all of us we would read through our scriptures,
Mhm.
and Hunter was so aware and so involved in all of it. As much as he couldn't do, he was so much a part of us doing all that we did. You know what I'm trying to say? Like
Yeah.
he motivated us to do more. And Grandma too was right there along. She was taking him to like get a library card. Yeah, that was back when you actually went to the library and got
read
a
books
card
at the library.
and took library books
Oh my
out.
word, I remember that.
She took him to the grocery store. She would do things with you guys, especially you, Camryn, because you were in school at that point, Erin. You guys always went and did all the fun things with Grandma.
Mhm.
Do you remember Camryn riding on you didn't ride it, but the motorcycle, going on the swings with Hunter at the park, going and looking at the meat section at the the grocery store? I was like, I remember
Most
Grandma
random
taking a picture, and
things.
I was like, why are you taking? Why is that? Because I was so overly protective of him. I didn't want him to go anywhere.
Mhm.
I really didn't. I didn't want him to be around germs or anything. I didn't want him to be exposed to everything. And Grandma's like, he's got to live. I'm so
I agree.
thankful for Grandma. He's just like, we need to start living. We need to start doing all the things that boys do.
Mhm.
And you were right there along with him, Camryn, doing all those things until you went to school. And which was really, you spent most of your life with Hunter, your little life, up until you were going to school at 5. And then he went to heaven when you were 6.
Mhm.
So much of you being little, you spent with your brother before he went to heaven. So here's another entry from June. This is June 3rd, 2000. We went to visit Bambi, Hunter's favorite horse today. Hunter loves her so much. Of course, I forgot to bring the carrots. It says again. I must have forgot the carrots all the time. Oh,
I love that you included that.
I know. Like this is so. I'm so thankful I have this. I'm so thankful this book has been written, but I'm also so thankful that we journal. We all journal. Hunter was also up in his standard today, playing the piano. When he gets his arms moving, you can tell he's really trying to play the keys. Believe it or not, the music he makes actually sounds good, really good. I'm so proud of him. He tries so hard all the time and knows exactly what he's doing. He's a very smart kid. This is cool because we were just talking about this and now I'm reading it. He's still into Stuart Little, Little Bear, Davy and Goliath, and Franklin the Turtle. I love when all three of the kids fall asleep next to each other while watching a movie together. They're beautiful. Erin and Camryn love their brother and always see past his disease. I'm so blessed. Hunter makes us so much more aware of everything. Lord, thank you for opening up my eyes through Hunters. God, please bless and heal my boy. That's
love
so
that.
cute.
Aw.
I know.
I'm so thankful you have those journal entries.
And our pictures. Thank God for pictures. Grandma's was taking pictures. We
Oh
didn't
my
have
gosh,
an
we
iPhone.
had so many pictures.
We did
like,
not have an iPhone at the
yeah,
time.
like actual. Can you imagine if we did have the iPhone?
Oh, that
Oh,
would be
we would
awesome.
have trillions
And
of
videos.
photos.
Oh, Grandma and Grandpa only had like that old kind of video things, camcorder. I think that's the name of it.
This makes us all seem so old.
I know.
Not you, me. Not
Mom,
you
you're
guys.
not old.
Thanks, Kim.
Ish.
But we have some videos of Hunter and they're just so amazing. Here's that picture of Hunter with Bambi and Camryn. Camryn having that pacifier in her mouth.
Yeah, that's the reason I have braces. Thanks, Mom. I have
Sorry.
braces. I don't have them anymore.
So cute. Oh my goodness. Look at and there the chameleon on top of Hunter's head.
Oh my god. That was definitely through the reptile guy.
Yes, the reptile guy and there he is in a stander.
We'll definitely put some of these
Snowmobiling.
pictures on Instagram for sure.
Yeah. Making pottery.
Oh my gosh.
Hunter loved life.
Yeah. I mean, that's what made us love life.
Right.
I talked about this in my testimony. We all have talked about this before, but Hunter's life, those years were the best years of my life.
Mm-hmm.
My most joyful years. And what's crazy about that is it was filled with so much so much suffering, so much pain. And Mom, you did do a very good job at protecting us from a lot of that and not letting us see a lot of the reality of what was going on, the pain of what was going on. But also I think our little kid brains like protected us from some of that and from some of the pain. But because I do view those years as the best, most joyful years of my life. And it was because of the life that Hunter brought all of us. I think we should all share first our favorite memory with Hunter, and second, what we learned most about Hunter. My favorite memory with Hunter was when we would just, and I talked about this earlier, but when the three of us would just hang out, when we'd be sitting or laying with him watching Little Bear or Rescue Heroes or whatever it was just those little moments of calm and peace where it was just the three of us. And Mom, you would let it just be the three of us. And I cherish those moments. And those are some of my favorite memories. And what I learned most from Hunter is to live life to the fullest and to live your life for Christ. Because Hunter didn't speak a word, but he lived out his life to the point where we saw Jesus in him. He didn't have to say Jesus' name for us to see Jesus in him. And so his life encouraged me to live in such a way that when people see me, they see Jesus without me even having to speak a word.
That's awesome.
Period.
That's so powerful. And that should be all of our lives.
Yeah.
Right?
I agree with Erin when she was talking about cuddling and snuggling, because that was definitely like my favorite memories with Hunter. And also I was always by his side. Like where he was going, I was going, and nobody was stopping me. So I just love that too. And also I agree with what Erin said. And I just feel like Hunter taught us that every day is a gift. I mean, and we're not promised tomorrow. So I just feel like how she said, living every day to the fullest. And I just feel like, I mean, I'm literally going to copy what Erin said because what she said is completely true. And how he never spoke a word, but he changed everything. Period.
That's the subtitle of
I know. That's why
Without
I
a
said
word.
that. Without a word.
Oh
the
my
boy
goodness,
who
it
never
is.
spoke a word but changed everything.
How boys unspoken word. What?
How a boy's unspoken love
changed
everything. It's been a while since I read Without a Word. Mom, will you share with us your favorite memory and also what you learned most through Hunter's life? I know the list is long, but if you could just
I know.
bring it down to at least just
You
one,
gotta just make
one.
it brief, but
Come on.
special. Every moment was special. And we know we all have a lot of moments with Hunter.
Give me a top 10 favorite.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be number one.
Well, there's so many moments I could share. There really is. My heart is full of memories of Hunter, and to pick one is really hard. Why are you doing this to me? Honestly,
Because we did that.
We
Just
did
pick
it?
one.
Fine.
Hunter's
I love
listening
his-
right now, and he's like,
Mom.
Mom, come on.
Well, honestly, it was the moments when it was just Hunter and mommy, like
Mhm.
the Hunter mommy moments where everyone was asleep and we were doing chest PT in the middle of the night. And, there were times when I would ask him we would just have fun. I would ask him can you move your big toe, Hunter? I would just challenge him sometimes to
Mhm.
do different things that he wouldn't do. And he would do it. And I'd freak out. But I would say definitely the most impactful moment was when he used his eyes 3 times to blink, I love you, to say, I love you to me, because obviously he couldn't say it verbally, but he learned to blink 3 times to say, I love you. I'm doing it right now. And that by far was one of the most special moments I've ever had with Hunter. But there's so many. And because every moment was a gift. And that's really what he taught me as well, that every moment is a gift and that God is real. The one thing for sure that I learned about God is that he's real. I learned that through Hunter's life. I came to faith in Christ because of Hunter's suffering, brought me to the suffering of Christ, and knowing God is the greatest gift in my life. And I know God as a result of Hunter's life. And I've said this before and I'll say it again, although I cannot wait to see Hunter in heaven. I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine what his first word was. Like, he spoke for the first time in heaven. I just can't even wrap my heart or mind around that. But the fact that I will get to hear Hunter speak, I get to see him again, whole, healthy, who knows, maybe throwing footballs. I don't even know.
Definitely
But
throwing
Daddy would
footballs,
say,
definitely.
yes, they're definitely
Oh,
playing
yeah.
football in heaven. But ultimately, my heart's cry is that I cannot wait to see Jesus, because he made all of that possible. And because of him, we have a greater hope. We all do. All of us sitting here talking about Hunter, we have hope and we have joy because we know this isn't the end of the story. We know that we're all going to see Hunter again. If you had to live your life not having that hope, I can't even imagine putting one foot in front of the other. I would be completely lost, empty.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even want to live, to be
Yeah.
honest, if I did not have that greater hope.
Right. And like we've said before, it is because of Hunter's life that we all know Jesus.
That's right.
Honestly, even extended family.
Right.
It was through Hunter's life that so many people have come to faith in Christ. And like you share in your testimony often, it's the suffering of Hunter that led you to the suffering of Christ. And
Right.
that's
And
a
his
powerful
sacrifice.
testimony.
Right. Yeah. And his sacrifice for us. And also, is it okay if I share a little more?
Yes, of
Can
course.
I share a little
No,
more?
Mom, it's not. We all know you're going to share regardless. Go ahead, girl. The floor is yours.
Oh my
Cam,
goodness.
I love
Okay,
you.
so I wrote this, and this was, I don't know what year this was that I wrote this, but this is part of my journal entry, and it's in Without a Word. And I say, I love you so much, Hunter. What an immeasurable treasure from God you are. Immeasurably more.
Immeasurably more.
Each and every day that goes by with you by my side is a shower of blessings sent from heaven. Thank you for bringing so much love and joy into my life. I'm so proud to be your mom. Through all your suffering and struggles, you continue to show such strength and courage. I will continue to pray that someday we will be holding hands and giggling while we run through a beautiful meadow chasing butterflies. If not here, then for eternity. I can't wait. I love you, little buddy. Butterflies, they always remind me of Hunter.
Yeah.
We let butterflies go.
I was just
at the
thinking that.
cemetery. And remember, we would go to Hilton Head and there's butterflies there every
Butterflies
year.
everywhere.
We started going to Hilton Head after Hunter went to heaven as a time to remember him and to be together as a family. And every year, we haven't gone in a while, but every year there's always butterflies as just a reminder of new life.
Yeah.
That's what a butterfly reminds me of, is new life and how God gives us new life. And I just want to also share a couple more things. Though outwardly it appeared that Hunter was wasting away, his inward spirit continued to shine ever so brightly as he battled seizures and all sorts of serious physical complications. His unbridled will to live filled our home and hearts with a joy beyond description. And in the midst of everything, I passionately pursued the heart of God. Hunter's struggles drove me to my knees, and God, in his mercy, kept me there. The more Krabbe disease tried to steal, the more life God poured into our family. Miracles were happening almost daily, none more significant than the realization that we all needed Jesus.
Wow.
Hunter's life really was a miracle. Although we prayed
absolutely.
for a miracle for him, an earthly miracle where he would be whole and healed and healthy, there was a greater miracle that God gave us through Hunter's life.
Yeah.
It was the miracle of Jesus. It was the miracle of knowing God. It was the miracle of appreciating life, appreciating every single breath, appreciating the fact that though Hunter never smiled, he gave us so much joy and smiled. His life was a smile.
Right.
I mean,
right.
everything about him brought us so much joy. And like you said, Erin, that was one of the happiest, most life-giving times of your life. And that's only God. That
Right.
was God working through Hunter. God using Hunter as a vessel of his hope and
still
creating Hunter's hope. That too, it's part of Hunter's legacy, this legacy that we get to impact people's lives as a result of Hunter's life, and how his life continues to bring people hope, though he's not here anymore. And it's just so incredible to bless other people and to meet all of these families. Soon our symposium will be here and we'll all be together, and to be with these families who have gone through a similar situation that we have, and some of their children are in heaven, and to just celebrate with them the lives of our kids is such a blessing. And Hunter gave us that. God gave us that through Hunter's life. And I cannot even imagine going through life without pouring into another person's life. And we get to do that through the Hunter's Hope Foundation. And we get to do that through this podcast. And that's what Hunter taught us as well, I would say, is to pour out your life.
Yeah.
Hunter did that.
Right.
And that's an example of Christ as well. Jesus poured out his life for us. God gave us his one and only son. And Hunter gave so much as he needed, he gave all the more. His life poured out so much love, so much joy, so much beauty, so much hope. And we learned so much from him. And I miss him every single day. There's not a day that goes by that I don't think about him.
Yeah.
And I know that every day is one day closer to seeing him face to face. And I'll tell you something, that day, I hope they have cameras or videos or something in heaven, because it's going to be something that you want to hold on to, because I can't even imagine what that day is going to be like. And that is, knowing that that's coming, knowing that Hunter's in our future. Hunter's in our future.
Yeah.
Like we all have a future, right? And Hunter is part of all of our futures. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah. It
to
gives
think
you
of?
hope for now.
Right. Right.
Gives you comfort now when you're missing him and you can't wait to see him again. There's like knowing that you are going to see him again.
Right.
Gives you the strength to push on today and tomorrow and the next day. And I love that the name of our foundation is Hunter's Hope, because he has given us incredible hope in Christ, but he's also given hope to thousands and thousands of families now, in the past, and in the future through newborn screening and everything that we do at the foundation. Hunter's life is impacting really every child born in the United States.
That is
because of
immeasurably
newborn
more.
screening.
Right?
Yeah.
That is immeasurably more.
It's incredible. Wow. I never thought about it like
I know,
that. But
I
that's
know.
so true. Because of newborn screening, because of everything Hunter's Hope has done through newborn screening, because of Hunter, now every child born in the United States is being impacted through what we're doing at Hunter's
Through a
Hope.
boy who never spoke a word. How much more, being that we are able, we're doing a podcast, that we are able to do more. How much more does that inspire you guys to want to impact people's lives even more?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Look what Hunter was able to do.
Right. Exactly.
You know, and we have the ability to do the same, if not immeasurably more.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I'm so thankful that we were able to dedicate this episode to Hunter and just share about his life. I love talking about him and especially sharing him with people that have never met him and just getting to share his life and share with you, the listener, how he has impacted our lives and why we are who we are because of him. And so thank you, Cam, for being here too for this episode. More episodes with Cam coming soon.
Cam clips.
Cam clips. Oh my gosh, that's from the Hot Chocolate with God
I
days.
know.
It is.
We're going to be talking about Hot Chocolate with God at some point coming up for
Yes.
sure. Mom, will you close us in prayer?
I was thinking that because Camryn is our honored guest, it would be great to have her close us in prayer today. You should see her face, everybody. You should see
I just had
the
this
face.
weird feeling that she was just gonna spring that on me right there.
Well, there
I
you
love
go.
your prayers, Cam. Please.
Yes.
I love your prayers.
I'm nervous. Okay. Dear God, I thank you for this day, and I thank you that we are all here to do this podcast, and I'm so thankful for it, and I'm so thankful that we get to talk about Hunter, and I'm so thankful for his life and how many people he's blessed and how he's blessed all of us, and I just can't wait to see him one day, and thank you again. Amen.
Amen. Thank you,
Amen.
Camryn.
Of course.
We love you, Hunter.
We love you.
Love you, HB.